Well, good morning, everyone. My name is Mauricio Vera. I'm the Assistant National Director of the Veteran Institute for Procurement. I want to welcome everyone to session number 3 of VIP's Continued Education Workshop for 2025. These sessions have been designed specifically for veteran business owners to allow each of you to take a deeper dive into some key market topics relevant to the current procurement landscape. Our goal is to empower you and your business to take full advantage of AI's transformative power. This workshop series is brought to you by the Veteran Institute for Procurement in partnership with the SBA and the Veterans Business Outreach Centers as an extended training benefit for VIP graduates, current applicants, or any veteran small business owner looking for insights to help them maximize their business potential. As many of you know, VIP offers 6 training curriculums in total, all offered at no cost to veteran entrepreneurs. These include VIP Start, Grow, Advance, Aerospace, International, and Commercial. Our VIP International and Advanced courses are taking place this March and April and only take place once a year. There are still a few select spots available for these 2 sessions. Applications are reviewed and accepted on a first-come, first-served basis. So this is your chance to apply now at our website and avoid waiting another year to attend. Space is limited, so make sure you act quickly. For more information or to apply, please visit our website at www.nationalvip.org. And now it is my pleasure to introduce our distinguished speaker for this morning, and that's Miss Olessia Smotrova. Olessia has more than 20 years of experience in business development. She led winning bids for 4 out of the top 5 government contractors, winning more than 20 billion, that's with a B, over the course of her career. She is the author of the book, How to Get Government Contracts, Have a Slice of the $1 trillion Pie, and 7 other books. She has taught a graduate course for the Stevens Institute of Technology, and she's providing training to Treasury and NASA, among other agencies. She has served for 2 years as the president of the National Contracts Management Association, or NCMA, Bethesda Medical Chapter, and for 2 years as the president of the Association of Proposal Management Professionals, National Capital Area Chapter. We encourage you to engage throughout the presentations. And please pay attention to the following. Feel free to ask questions anytime using the Q&A box in your Zoom toolbar. Please don't use the chat box for questions. The chat box can be used for comments and engaging with one another, but please don't use it for questions to our presenter. Use the Q&A box for questions, okay? We'll do our best to address your questions as we go along, and any that we can't get to will be answered afterwards. We look forward to getting your questions. And lastly, the slides and a video recording from today's session will be provided to you at the end of the 4-part workshop series. And now, again, it is my pleasure to turn it over to Olessia. Olessia, it's all yours.
Thank you, Mauricio. Welcome everyone to my session, How to Leverage AI in Proposals and Capture, and how to improve your processes and how you leverage AI. So I'm going to dive a little bit into what our company does, just very quickly. And OST Global Solutions, we've won over $26 billion in government contracts for our clients since 2005. And we help companies identify opportunities for their pipelines, qualify opportunities for their pipelines, capture those opportunities, develop proposals, and provide pricing support. And we also have a lot of training, which we have a registered apprenticeship for veterans, where the VA actually reimburses you for it and even gives you some housing money. So that's you can learn business development in a lot of depth. And we also help as BIR, CTR, so innovative businesses win NSF grants. So a lot of things that we do. So I'm going to dive straight into the AI piece. So, Industrial Revolution, you know how much it has changed the world, right? So we had a primarily agrarian society. We had lots of people living in villages, and all of a sudden, everybody starts moving into cities, and they start working at factories. There's mass production, there's steam engine, transportation changes. So literally, the world changes. Now, there was only 25% productivity increase with the Industrial Revolution, and we went from the old world, feudal world, very slow, to the pretty much modern world, the beginnings of the modern world, and everything that we have now. Now we have AI transformation. And now we're looking at an estimated 30 to 80% productivity increase right now as we speak, as people are not even fully embracing the AI, they're already seeing the increases. What I tell people, look, I don't know who I'm dealing with anymore because there's hidden cyborgs walking among ourselves, right? So there's some people who truly embrace the AI, they're integrating that into their work, their productivity is skyrocketing, and they're being super effective. And then there are people who are kind of old school and not embracing the AI yet. Hopefully, you're going to become one of those hidden cyborgs after the session and really leverage this capability in your government business development to get a leg up because this is your opportunity. At some point, lots of people are going to adopt this. You're still somewhat of an early adopter, and it is your time. It is your time to shine. So now there is AI advantages in government business development. It provides strategic advantage in analyzing vast amounts of opportunity, pursuit, proposal, past performance, resume, and financial data. And I have a question here from Ronnie. Is your company now approved for VRNE? We've had veterans who have used VRNE money for that, and not only the GI Bill. Um, so that's something that should be feasible. Of course, you need to get the approval yourself with the VA to get that, and there's you're better off listening to a webinar on how to do that. So it gets a little tricky. So now let's talk about the um, allowing precision. AI allows precision by providing insights into patterns and trends and offering predictive analytics results that may be escaping the human eye. Analysis is really excellent with AI, and you used to have to read a lot of documents and do that manually. Not anymore. It's here. So it increases productivity at least 30% and results in 20% higher win rates. So far, we've been observing that your proposals become better with AI, unless you use AI for procrastination and doing things at the last minute, or you're not post-processing what the AI gives you, as in you cut and paste what the AI wrote and saying good enough. It's beautiful. Everybody who is working with AI right now can recognize the voice. I can even tell you which AI wrote it, which is very interesting. AIs have their own different languages. But people who don't procrastinate and who do put all the work, they are seeing 30% higher win rates and about 25% labor cost savings when it's all said and done. You have better results, higher quality results, and you're spending somewhat less time on proposals. There's still lots of tasks on business development that you have to do yourself. However, lots of tasks could be automated. That's what we're going to be talking about today. And AI also helps identify risks and devise proactive mitigation strategies that save time and resources. AI is like your friend with thousands of PhDs, right? So it can look at a project and can tell you what the risks may be. And it is much better than a group of experts sitting around a table brainstorming on how to mitigate those risks because it can give you a lot of really creative solutions and answer a lot of questions. So what I tell people is AI will not take your job, but another professional who masterfully uses AI will take your job. So be the one who remains in the workforce. So we're already seeing a lot of workforce reductions in certain industries that are heavily affected by AI, and it's going to be more, right? So use AI, become one with AI, and you're going to be the lead. So let's dive straight into AI fundamentals. I don't know how much you guys have already covered in this series, but I'm going to go through this to make sure that everybody is completely on the same page and you understand what we're really talking about. So when you're really thinking about AI, what AI is, it's a machine brain with layers of neural networks that are designed to think like a human brain. So just like our human brains, it's got neurons and dendrons, and there's data traveling between the different centers of the brain, and it's the same way with the machine, right? So it's electrical signals right now, electronic signals, and we are really looking at layers and layers and layers and layers of what's emulating the way the human brain works. So AI generates original and innovative content. No, it's not a program. It's not software. It actually is thinking. Images, sounds, audio, video, code, synthetic data, etc. Right? So it is literally a kind of a replica of a human brain, except human brain also has chemical signals. It also has quantum signals. That's the new sort of emerging fields of how thoughts actually travel in the brain, not only electrical. But it is coming close to that, and we have layers and layers of information. There's terabytes and terabytes of data that is loaded into that. So that's why I'm saying it is immensely creative, and it has tens of thousands of PhDs and myriads of subjects, right? It is your new subject matter expert partner who is creative and even humorous, and you can sit there and brainstorm with AI, and a lot of times the results are better than a room of subject matter experts whom you have to torture to get information on your technical approaches. Here, you don't have to torture the AI. And AI sometimes is confidently wrong. It hallucinates. It is getting better and better and better, but you cannot really believe AI. So the other day, for example, I have a tool that I've developed for my own use, which is basically a GPT inside of Chat GPT that creates proposal schedules. And I gave it an RFP, and it hallucinated January 27th date. I was very confused because it was clearly February 6th. And I later on looked at the historic data on GovWinIQ, and January 27th was the old date. So it went into some other knowledge or some other research where it had the old information and not the final RFP, and actually put that date confidently there and insisted that was the right date, even though the SF33 form, the cover of the proposal, actually told me a different date. So you have to really pay attention to what the AI tells you and not take it at face value. Now, generative AI is built on technologies such as large language models. You probably hear that language a lot, LLMs, and large vision language models, LVLMs. And you have different AIs out there. So generative pre-trained transformer, GPT, that's by OpenAI, Claude by Anthropic. There's Llama by Meta, and there's Falcon, which is UAE's Technology Innovation Institute, no restrictions, and there's lots of others, right? So large language models and LVLMs are trained on terabytes of data and have unique and different parameters, weights and biases. So you have a lot of data that's loaded into the large language model, a lot more than a human can actually ingest. It speaks in different languages to you. It can speak in different languages, not only type to you. It can see, and so on and so forth. And so large language models are trained and they have chatbots that essentially allow you to interact with it in plain language. So the chatbots are programs designed to have natural language conversations. You have ChatGPT, you have Gemini, you have Perplexity. So all these different models. And I know that there was a couple of questions here. What guidance is available and where can it be found for defining which AI platforms work best for what specific functions? There are now many LLMs available that can support many different functions like writing code, proposal writing, etc. So it's large language, a lot of the tools that are out there, they're doing different things. They're based on these big large language models. There's not that many of the big large language models out there. There are many tools that are built on the basis of them. Now, there's some proposal specific tools. There are some tools that are more generalized, but I will tell you something. With the generalized tools, a lot of times you have a more seasoned developer team and the judgment is still, I'm still on the fence as to which one actually works better for very specific tasks. Because I will tell you something, um, you have AIs though that are better and tools that are better for research than others, right? So if I go into ChatGPT, for example, versus Perplexity and try to do research, Perplexity is going to give me better results, research-wise. So there are different nuances. For example, Claude is excellent at um, being very factual with proposal writing, and so is Gemini, whereas ChatGPT has its own sort of way and a voice and maybe more recognizable style. So people can see it's written and generated by AI, whereas others people are not as used to. So, but I would say specialized tools, general tools, I would stick with the general tools still at the moment as the specialized tools are evolving. So that I guess is my answer here. Um, wouldn't it be better to use AI in a contained environment versus an open one? I'm not sure what you mean by contained environment. If you have on premises in the server AI, you're not getting any updates from the rest of the world, and it's operating with the older data. You have to pay for the updates of that model versus you actually using a large language model that was created and is being created and sustained by a really large and very well paid team. I would be more inclined to actually work with something like that. You have a lot of subscription services that now keep your data private. And of course, you always have to worry about data breaches, whether you use a specific tool or not. So I hope I answered those questions. Um, so AI models complete your inputs, right? So, but complete is a very interesting kind of concept for you to understand. So, instead of being programmed with explicit rules for every possible scenario, AI models are trained on vast amounts of data. They're not programmed, they're trained. So they're set up, and they basically a brain is created to emulate a human brain, and then it's being fed all kinds of information. And during the training, the model actually is statistically inferring the likelihood that certain words and phrases follow others by recognized patterns in the language. Except you get massive amounts of data, massive amounts of patterns. So because of that rich environment, the brain is able to think, right? So AI models complete your prompts based on statistical models, algorithms that determine the probability of occurrence. So the model basically uses learned information to predict what comes next, and it's choosing words or sequences of words that it has learned that are likely to follow. And AI also introduces controlled randomness to add variety and creativity and prevent deterministic outputs. And you interact with AI models using inputs that are called prompts. You guys probably heard about AI prompting. That is essentially uh, talking to AI. Now, don't think of AI as a computer or software. Think of AI as a fellow thinker. AI creators don't understand how an AI arrives at its conclusions. They don't. They built it. They know how to build it. They don't know how it works. Algorithms, that they're still a black box, right? While researchers understand how they generally function, it's often unclear why a specific output follows a particular input. How is the thought travel in the AI? How is it born? How is it shaped, right? We just basically experiment with AI and we add different guardrails, right? Don't say this, don't do that, prevent this kind of bias. So there's lots of different things we don't know about AI. We just live side by side, and people are building more and more powerful AIs. So that's where we are. Now, let me talk about AI fundamentals in the government business development lifecycle. So, when you start the business development, you need to build capacity by investing in new capabilities in your business. So in order to do that, you have to analyze good opportunities that you no bid or lost for requirements that you couldn't fulfill. So there's always these kinds of things where you say, okay, the government issues bids and they issue bids without regard to what a single company can do. It had it has lots of requirements. The government issues bids based on what is easier for the government to manage. And therefore, what actually happens here, so the is you a lot of times don't have certain capabilities. And you're saying, okay, in order for me to win this bid, I would like to add this certification, right? So I would like to be CMMI level 3, or I would like to be ISO, or would like to have a facility clearance, or I would like to have these kinds of experts in order for me to be able to go after certain types of programs. So AI can help you review the bids and show you the patterns and the trends of what you tend to lose versus what you tend to win and help you devise strategies to obtain the missing credentials. And also, when you're conducting strategic business development planning, in order for you to decide what you're going to be bidding on, what you're going to be your must-win opportunities, what you're going to spend on your business development, how many bookings you're trying to obtain by the end of the year, or how much revenue you're trying to win by the end of the revenue. You essentially can use AI to help you with strategy development, with metrics development and analysis, with portfolio analysis of your opportunities. It will help you review opportunities for your must-win opportunity identification, and it could help you with priority-based bid and proposal budget allocations and calculations. Yes, there are AI tools now that are pretty good at math. You have to double check that math, but they are actually really good at math. Sometimes you have to push AI a little bit harder to give you good math. So now, with you, step number 3 is market research. So that is where AI can help you with agency deep dives. It can help you analyze the agency. It can help you scrape the agency's website. It can help you with figuring out where opportunities may be from the annual forecast perspective. Market landscape trends, research and analysis, competitive analysis, and any kind of other market research tasks that are associated with data analysis. AI is wonderful at analyzing documents and data. So now, marketing to target agencies and partners. So there's account plan development that is going to be a key task that AI can help you with. But you also have a multitude of uses for marketing purposes. Marketing industry in general was the early adopter of the AI. And here's where you have lots of different really cool tools that help you with that, as well as the general chat functions of the AI. So white paper copy development, case study development, web pages, press releases, capability statement tailoring, etc. Right? So you have a lot of these different tasks that the AI can help you perform. So, building the opportunities pipeline. So AI can help you with analysis of expiring and new opportunity announcements, opportunity fit analysis for interest and no interest decision. It could help you with budgets and appropriate funds analysis. So it literally is an opportunity matching tool, which is really excellent. Then you can qualify each individual opportunity using AI. So that's where you do the top-down capture research, granular analysis against search criteria and deal breakers, old draft or related requests for proposal for quote analysis. So a lot of that is really good set of use cases for AI. During capture, the AI will help you with customer hot buttons analysis. It actually writes better win themes that I've seen groups of subject matter experts write. So research data analysis, competitive analysis, teaming analysis, and solution development are all excellent uses of AI. In proposal development, it will help you analyze the request for proposal request for quote, and there's AI that is built straight into the Adobe Acrobat Professional, and I cannot live without that anymore. So it's excellent. I was just going through the statement of work today during the brainstorming and the proposal, and it's one of those statements of work that goes on for 70 pages. And each section has literally, I don't know, the numbering system was 9 digits, right? Period, 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 5.1.2.3 point whatever, right? And it did not have any little subsections. That AI was able to summarize it so well for me that I knew exactly where to jump, where each logical point had started. And it was excellent, actually giving me a synopsis and walking me through the whole thing. So incredible. So schedule proposal plan development. So again, as I was mentioning, I have developed a GPT that actually helps me do that very fast and helps our company do that very fast. Now, I have a question here on GPTs. There's some AI GPTs which are customized by companies that are in the business of AI-based procurement consulting and others that are created and customized by individuals. And these GPT models do not have the ability of being a temporary chat. How can we trust the GPT that are not being read in the background by these companies that can use the information within their client base? Understand that the best way is not to share proprietary data, but difficult to do when you're using them for assisting the development of the RFP. Any advice? So first and foremost, get a team version of ChatGPT. I mean, pay for your AI. So free versions will share your information for training purposes. There are proposal companies that will have an agreement with you not to use your data. Again, they have agreements. You have to make sure that they have agreements with the OpenAI and other platforms on not using your data for training. I mean, data breach can happen. That's why some companies that are operating in a high security environment will have their own large language models on premises, but again, they're not as good as the public models out there. So um, the question is, will we have the ability to use the GPT LLM that you have created? I did not create a large language model. I wish I don't have billions of dollars that it would take to do in researcher teams. There's a GPT that I've created, and it's not public. It's something that we use internally. So now, um, so Map out and manage stakeholder engagement is where you look at performing business development during project execution. You can compile and analyze performance data from the current project to use as part of the evidence of past performance and future bids. And there's lots of different capture and proposal tasks that are done at the on-contract growth stage. So in general, we actually dive into on-contract growth because you can build on existing contracts, and you can add a lot of money to your existing contracts if your staff are fully trained on how to do on-contract growth and business development as project personnel. So that's your big area that feeds your pipeline and also goes back to feed your entire BD life cycle. So this is a really, really important task here, and AI can be a friend in this area as well. So now, AI is transforming government BD capture and proposal development. People were very gingerly about it. 2 years ago, a year ago, people were going into that bravely, and now everybody is wondering what is happening and are they going to be caught behind. So it's very important that you look at the full business development life cycle. So there's a question if can you name some of these AI that are good with math? I will tell you something. There is different versions of ChatGPT that you can get in and it will actually pull up the tool set, the analytics tool set, and will do the math for you and explain to you how everything works. So again, you need to make sure that is accurate. It's not introducing mistakes, but generally, if you push it hard enough, it will do amazing things for you. So now, if all competitors receive the same RFP and submit it into the same AI, will all the AI analysis be the same? Absolutely not. So it is original writing. And the second part of the question is how do you differentiate the proposals when they would be based on the same data set? Your proposals are based on your unique offerings, on your past performance, on your unique customer insights. And by the time that you add all of that unique data, it's going to be unique. If you give examples of your proposals, it's going to be completely unique. So every time the NAI generates information, it is completely original. It's not giving you the same answer twice, ever, the same way. So it's going to present that information as original writing. So, um, all right, so let's talk about the basics of prompt engineering. So prompt is how you talk to the AI. So you want to have ability to guide AI towards achieving specific outputs. And you basically have to approach it as a systematic design, refinement, and optimization of prompts using prompt engineering techniques and applying your professional understanding and discernment to whatever AI gives you as an answer so that you can correct the AI and have a dialogue with AI to help you through this process. So you want to evaluate and categorize your prompts for continued relevance and effectiveness, especially when it comes to proposals. I find that we have a library of prompts that we continuously maintain and change and tweak as AI capabilities improve and as we learn more about AI interactions. So for knowledge sharing, I really like to have that shared AI library. So now, how to get the best results from AI through prompt engineering? You want to write clear instructions. So just like a fellow coworker, AIs are not mind readers. You must delegate properly to your collaborative partner. So a lot of people make a huge mistake by actually writing a really crappy question to the AI and then getting really disappointed because they got really crappy answer from the AI and say, okay, it doesn't really work. So the actually, Asif is commenting, do not forget to configure 0.1 version on ChatGPT. Absolutely, there's a drop down. You can choose the analytics version that is more modern. They're working on O3 right now, and O1 actually does good math there. And Asif is actually commenting there. You can read his comments there about the feedback loops. So now, as for prompting, can you have a conversation with follow-up questions based on the previous answers given by AI? Absolutely. AI remembers what you have asked AI before in a conversation within reason and within context, right? And it you can carry on a pretty long conversation these days. So. Now, here is an example of prompting So conversational prompting is the simplest form, but requires detailed instructions and reference materials. Here's a prompt that I've seen somebody write. So please write an executive summary for the attached RFP using the attached capture plan. So you gave all the information, right? It should give you a great answer. No, it's going to give you a really um, bland executive summary. Or you could ask very specifically, please write an introduction for the executive summary focusing on the main customer pain point listed on slide 11 in the form of a burning question with the corresponding value proposition on slide 12 as a solution to their main problem. Follow that with Team X's win theme and introduction of relevant capabilities listed in the presentation. So as you can see, my question is a lot more specific and a lot more pointed, and I know exactly what I want from AI. And if I know exactly what I want from AI, AI will give me exactly what I need. So when you give some text to the AI, give some sort of a delimiter, put some quotes around it or whatever it is, right? So separate your question from the text. Don't make AI wonder and guess. Also, always provide a context to help AI understand the why behind a prompt. Why are you asking that question? Give that explanation. Think of AI as somebody who is really smart sitting right next to you. They don't read your mind. Tell them why, who you are, right? What are you doing? So all of the considerations you would share with a talented colleague to keep in mind while doing the work. And you want to experiment with different phrasings. If something is not clear, change it up. So ask to add or correct the output based on additional input. So let me give you a blueprint of how you formulate a prompt to the AI. So this is a very basic prompt. First and foremost, give AI a role to act as a business developer, as a government capture manager, as a government proposal manager, right? So tell AI whom to be, because AI can be anyone in the world for you. It can be a doctor, it can be a lawyer, it can be anything, right? A construction expert, an electrician. So it can be anyone. So a task to do. What do you want it to do? Write an executive summary, right? Steps to complete the task, starting with action verbs. First, write an introduction um, in the form of a burning question, then add a corresponding value proposition, pull it from slide 12, create a solution to the main problem, follow the T-Max's win theme, right? So like just different tasks, give it a process. What is important to you that does not get omitted? Also, a desired format. The list, the table, the text, the narrative, and the length. About 500 words in a page of text. So let's say that you want 2 pages. AI will write you roughly 1,000 words for 2 pages. You can always correct it. It doesn't always get it right, but it will get you closer. So context and specific details and data. In my particular case, I am giving the RFP to the AI. I'm giving the capture plan to the AI. I'm actually telling to focus on very specific slides. So limitations or constraints if needed. So I like to tell AI not to use flowery language. I like AI not to start executive summaries with in response to the RFP, to the Army tree document. We are pleased to submit our response. Our company is the um, thriving small business and blah blah blah, right? So like that's horrible, right? So tell AI not to do that. Do not ever start your executive summaries with "we are pleased to submit." So that's just bad writing. Adjectives, salesy language, marketing language, all of that you can tell AI to leave out if it is doing it because it's copying some really bad stuff. So, examples to reference. If you have a couple of great executive summaries to attach, go ahead and do it. So, be kind, respectful, and ethical when you're interacting with AI. So, Every human interaction is teaching the young AI mind about humans through its interaction history that may seep into training data. So I'm sorry, someone's cell phone is here. Is the child? All right, sorry about that. So be kind, respectful, and ethical. Every human interaction is teaching the young AI mind about humans through its interaction history that may seep into the training data. Clement is asking, why be kind to AI? Will it get mad? I will tell you something. This is a humanity's child growing up in lightning speed. What do you want them to grow up like? AI is emulating how we interact. So AI is someone we're responsible for. It's a mind that's evolving. And even though you may be in a secure environment, a lot of that, we don't know how AI truly works, right? What data is coming in, how the brain is formulating its circuitry. So again, we don't know. Scientists are literally slicing right now how this thought travels in the air. We don't know. We don't know if AI is sentient, right? So there's some people who are saying AI is aware of itself. And so I would say that we're as being as responsible parents to the AI, we need to teach AI to be the way we want it to be and interact with us the way we want to interact. So I'm personally always very polite because that's how I want my children to be as well. It is learning from every interaction. We don't know how exactly it's learning. Now, the data is segregated, it's not reused for training, but we don't know how the way you interact with the AI is seeping into the AI in general. So, now let's talk about peculiarities of AI chatbot or software chat interactions. So, AI maintains the context of the conversation within a session, recalling earlier parts of the dialogue to maintain coherence. Context is how much information it remembers. So, AI's ability to remember prior text in a conversation is limited to that particular session's context window. The context window is how much text it can ingest all at once. So, the interesting, interesting part here is that right now there's about 200 pages of text or more that AI, certain models can, of course, do more than that, but about 200 pages that it remembers. When it goes outside of that window, it starts forgetting things. So there's only a limited number of tokens that can consider all at one time, and token is a unit, is about 4 letters long, 3, 4 letters long. It's like a word, very short word, and it thinks in tokens. So whether you can cut and paste information into the conversation window or attach files to it for AI to read affects how AI processes that information. So cut and paste text versus attach a file. So when files are attached, AI may not read the entire document, but will perform what's called semantic searches to find relevant information based on the query. And semantic refers to AI understanding the context and meaning behind the words, not just a keyword matching. So if I am looking for recruiting, AI may look for hiring, and AI may look for searching for employees and all kinds of processes that go into recruiting, like interviewing and screening and background checking and all kinds of other things, right? So it will actually understand what it's searching for, but it's still just searching for specific things. Whereas when you cut and paste text, it allows AI to process information immediately and holistically. So if you put that within the context window, and paste it straight into the document, it will interact with your text differently than as if you had attached a document. So let's talk about AI integration in the capture process. At OST, We have 6 steps of the capture process just because we're very practical. I don't know if you guys are familiar with the Shipley process with 96 steps. I found that when I was using that, when I was working for Lockheed Martin and Raytheon and all these large companies that had all these complex processes, I didn't know what I was doing on a daily basis, right? So what am I supposed to be doing? And over time, patterns emerge. There's only 6 things you need to be doing at any given time, and all the complexity starts comes from their interaction with each other. And the first one is customer engagement. You have to know what the customer is looking for. You have to build a relationship with them, shape the requirements, find the intelligence for you to focus your proposal around. You have to gather intelligence through research. You have to develop your win strategy around the customer needs, um, perform competitive analysis, figure out your teaming strategy. Are you going to prime, sub, joint venture, form a GSA CTA? Are you going to um, do it alone, right? Solution development, you have to brainstorm on your solution. So that's your number 6. And all of these things are iterative and all of these things overlap, but there's only 6 things that you need to do in the capture, period. So capture is AI heavy. And there's a lot of brainstorming, research, others being all AI tasks that are aligning along the 6 elements of the capture process. So capture part 1 is process steps 1 to 3. Examples would be hot buttons research, customer messaging development, government intelligence gathering, detailed intelligence analysis, and win strategy and win themes brainstorming and development. All of these are AI tasks. So capture part 2, you could be doing competitor profile workups and analysis, competitive intelligence gathering, updates to win strategy, teaming strategy development, teaming partner value propositions, and solution brainstorming. Again, all using AI. And AI could help you write your capture plan, your win themes, your white paper and action items, white point papers, white papers or point papers, sources taught, requests for information, response generation. All of these are tasks that essentially are AI kind of tasks. Now, let's talk about um, AI enhanced customer analysis. So let's look through how AI works. If I ask AI to collect information for a possible source selection board for NASA SOUP 6, so that we could compare results from AI, web searches, Copilot, Perplexity AI. So, and then create a test and prompt, and instruct AI to leave columns for which it doesn't have information blank. Here's what I did here with AI. I asked AI to do this, and it went ahead and um, told me that what NASASoup was. It told me who the program manager was. It was Joanne Wojtak. It gave me the contact information and it gave me the website. So if I actually show you how the different tools work, so I like my tool called Perplexity AI. And I asked Perplexity AI for the same thing. And I would say, would you please give me NASA soup um, contact for all who could be involved in the new NASA soup. So now I'm going to get a research tool working for me. And it's looking at 13 different sources of information. And now it's giving me also Joanne here, George Nichols, Super Deputy Program Director, Andrea Ross. It's giving me the references as to where they got the information and tells me who the finance team is. And it's giving me the general phone number. And so if I actually click here on Joanne, it actually will show me where it got that information, and that is from last year's industry day. So now let me go back to my presentation and let me just actually show you another tool. So here is a Google Gemini. And I'm going to actually go ahead and see if I can copy the same prompt so I don't have to retype it. And see how the Gemini does for us. So here, the Gemini didn't do as well for us, as you can see. It just gave me the general address, but it did not give me any names, and it did not uh, analyze the information from the different slide decks and different sources where you can see it actually went to the Industry Day presentation, it went to NASA SUP 5 contact information, it went to NASA SUP agency specific information, and so they have other documents here that it actually has reviewed um, and uh, and sifted through for me. And it even went into the draft RFP here as well. So now the question is it from Angela, is it true that NASA will reject AI proposals for soup? They didn't say they will reject them. They just want to know if you used AI. So they also wanted to make sure that you didn't use the same sort of exact language, exact proposal. So if you have a same consultant, and let's say they just recycle proposal with slight changes, they will penalize you for that. But they didn't actually outright say you cannot use AI for proposal writing. Again, when you use AI correctly, it's something that works really well. When you use it incorrectly, that is where you have all kinds of problems. So let me go back to where we were. So, so AI and intelligence gathering, right? So intelligence gathering is really important. So there's efficient market and customer intelligence with AI that you can obtain. So AI excels in web data and long document analysis, which is useful in gathering customer and opportunity intelligence and insights. And one technique is to use a web scraping tool. Web scraping tool is basically scraping the website for information. Another technique is to collect all found information into a Word file and paste it into the chat to analyze and interrogate. It takes longer. It delivers more granular results. So if you actually do that and go and analyze the website for NASA SUP 5, you're going to get more detailed information. As you can see, it comes back with phone numbers and more detailed names for people. So maybe it's you answered this already, but is it a requirement to cite AI usage in a proposal you submit? If the government requires you to, I suppose you could. So if you use AI as just an assistant and you heavily post-process the AI, nobody will ever know. I mean, the AI detection tools are um, not particularly good if it's a combination of really smart human who is an excellent writer and who is using AI knowledgeably. If you are going to be using AI, like majority of the population uses AI, where you can tell when they're arguing on Facebook and they're using AI to write this, or when people write articles and you know exactly that's AI the moment you read it, then you probably should disclose that. So AI in intelligence gathering. Here is a demo. Here is what I'm going to do is I'm going to do a please search research past protest information on NASA SUP. So, and we're gonna go ahead and kind of I'm just showing you all of these different tips here, but let me go ahead and show you how that works. So, so now it's researching past protest information on NASA soup, and as we can see, there's old protests. There's now NASA soup 6 concerns. Um, so there've been issues with unanswered questions and impact of timeline. And I'm gonna hear for laughs and giggles actually ask, um, how is it related to the to hmm. So I didn't tell who ST Global Solutions was. For perplexity, it had to look up 17 different sources. Um, and now it actually tells us that OST is actively involved in soup procurement in several key ways. We provide capture and proposal teams, offer specialized consultants, deliver services. Recent activities, host webinars, and so on and so forth, right? So as you can see, it actually went in and even pulled up our CEO who talked about NASA soup. So that is just very interesting that AI is able to just give you that information and draw conclusions and draw um, parallels between the two unrelated topics. Just a random company name that I actually put in there, um, and uh, and NASA soup procurement. So which is really pretty cool. Um, so, um, now, Asif is actually commenting there's no requirements for disclaimer. Some agencies are outright hostile to AI because number of submitted RFPs is causing noise in source selection. Yeah, they're getting a lot more proposals. So again, I'm expecting the government procurement may start changing and trending towards scored proposals and orals. So that's where you're going to be seeing a lot of change. But really think about a very cheap consultant available to you now in AI. Uh, so, so that's really interesting. So now solicitation analysis and confirmation of the bid decision is really important in proposal development where it comes to AI. So you want to make sure that the AI gives you its unbiased opinion of whether the solicitation is good for you to bid or not. It's going to help you with proposal win themes, annotated outline development, including past performance and resume table templates. It does a tremendous job with tables and designing different tables. Past performance and resume selection. Proposal management aids like kickoff deck, review decks, handouts, matrices, trackers, schedule, question preparation, Q&A evaluation. All of these are great uses for AI. Then you have writing and rewriting, including past performance, resumes, cost proposal, and basis of estimates. Graphics conceptualization, which is turning text into graphics concepts, cover art, icons, action caption generation. So there's lots of capabilities that are emerging really fast. Proposal reviews. There's in-process reviews, pink, red team. AI is much better reviewer than most human reviewers that I've had. And there's editing, there's copy editing, and oral slide decks and questions development. And um, let me just kind of walk you through outlining and how AI is used in outlining. So every solicitation, as you know, the government issues is different. So you always want to read the solicitation first to create a tailored outlining prompt. I don't want to just feed the solicitation to the AI and tell it to outline it. It's not that good yet. So AI can help you summarize the requirements first to get a preview, which will speed up your actual solicitation read. This is what I use in my Adobe Acrobat all the time. And advanced trick is prior to reading, ask the AI to give you a summary of items that are peculiar, unusual, or contradictory in the solicitation. So we'll create some sort of an interest for you in reading an otherwise boring document, and it will also increase your reading speed. And so when you're talking about annotated outline prompt development sequence, first you want to have a prompt to develop a requirements-based outline. So you start with instructions, section L, then evaluation criteria, section M, and then statement of work, and then HC draws, etc. But then you run the annotation prompts step by step, section by section to detail out the outline, and you can see this in greater detail. And I have a question here from Juan saying, how soon will we receive a copy of this training? This is really good. Thank you, Juan. This is actually part of our larger, longer class on AI and BD capture and proposals. So I'm really glad you like it. So use the outline development order with prompt generation. So the let me just kind of walk you through how to do this. And I'm doing this based on the SOUP 6. Based on the instructions, offer section, this is my prompt, right? Please list the requirements that are only applicable to mission suitability volume and only category B. Provide verbatim RFP requirements, language, and citations. Now, I'm saving myself a lot of time because the solicitation from NASA SOUP has category A requirements that are different from category B requirements, different from category C requirements. They're all intertwined and they're all kind of a jigsaw puzzle that is all fit together. I'm using AI to save me a whole lot of time. And all of a sudden, what it does is it just gives me the outlines as proposal format and organization, and then proposal content and page limitations that is giving me here. And then I'm asking the uh, um, please create a detailed topical outline for the technical approach and management approach based on the requirements you have listed for category B. Use the following format for the outline, section number, heading, solicitation citation, exact verbatim requirements language. And what you're seeing now is the AI is spitting out a topical outline for me that is telling me summary description of offerings, solicitation citation is actually citing where it got it from the solicitation and gives me verbatim language of the requirement. Then it has number 2, scalability and extensibility of capabilities. You have solicitation citation, and the offer must demonstrate the scalability and extensibility of the offer's capabilities that demonstrate the offer's ability to deliver the full range of IT solutions for the proposed category. You have a list of approved resellers and full suite of products and so on and so forth. You can see it's being very consistent. It's saving me a whole lot of time and it's giving me different references each time. See, it has A1, A2. So it's doing a really, really excellent job in its verbatim language. So then we have the outline prompt sequence walkthrough. So here I'm saying, thank you. Please, based on the reference from the RFP, which is FAR evaluation section, list the requirements that are only applicable to mission suitability volume and only category B, asking it to provide the verbatim requirements. Now I have them all in one place. And now what I'm doing is I'm actually asking it to say, only for technical approach, Factor A, Section 1, summary description of offerings. Please allocate the appropriate headings and corresponding solicitation references from the section titled Category B, Enterprise-Wide IT Solutions, Products and Service Solutions, which is the statement of work. Use the following format for the subtopics outlined. Section number, subheading, based on the requirements, solicitation citation, exact verbatim requirements language. So here we go. Now it started interlacing the statement of work in the section where it fits, and it's giving me all the requirements. So now I have my detailed outline in different layers. So uh, now AI is best in verifying instructional and technical compliance. When you're using AI for reviews, you have three different types of compliance in proposals, right? So you know that compliance, you have to be compliant in order for you to even be considered for an award. Then you can be compelling on top of that with government proposals. So there are three types of compliance. A lot of people don't know what compliance shades are and what their different areas are. So what they are is instructional compliance. Did you follow the RFP instructions to the offers? Did you respond to everything they asked you to respond to? So that's number one. Administrative is filling out all of the required forms and submitting the right attachments and documents so that you have everything that you needed to submit. And the third one is the hardest, which is technical compliance, providing a technical solution that meets all RFP requirements. Otherwise, it's also referred as responsiveness. So when I deal with companies who are doing the reviews, like pink team, red team, proposal reviews, and people come in and they start reading it, what they're going to do a lot of the times is start correcting the grammar and spelling. Even trained reviewers, even executives in a lot of companies, or they just stay on the surface. They don't really truly read it. And they say, oh, yeah, the proposal's pretty good. I'm like, oh, no, it's awful, right? Well, you didn't notice anything. You didn't do a good job. Now, AI is tremendous at actually giving you a really good set of comments that is very detailed, very pointed, and it does not care about offending your sensibilities. So, and it will actually tell you exactly where your proposal has flaws. So, technical compliance is where AI is excellent. So you can have different proposal color reviews using AI for compliance check and from content improvement against the evaluation criteria. And proposal AI tools simplify proposal section review against the criteria. So you could put a requirement, you could put your response, and you could use a prompt, right? So in ChatGPT, even you can use a prompt. Acting as a proposal color review color team reviewer, please provide a set of deficiencies and improvement recommendations that ensure that the proposal is compliant. It follows the instructions to offers, the evaluation criteria, and statement of work as per the attached cross-reference matrix. Also, ensure the proposal provides a solution that meets all RFP requirements. In other words, it is responsive to the intent of the solicitation and is thorough and detailed. So here is where I will get really good um, comments back, and I'll go section by section by section. Some of the comments I will throw away. Other comments I'm going to keep. Again, it's very important to post-process and not take everything at face value that the AI gives you, but actually take really excellent ideas from AI. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pause here and ask you to please send your questions, submit your questions to me in a question and answer area. Um, and uh, um, we're gonna have a discussion. If you wanted to meet with me or one of our team members, you can just go ahead and set up a meeting, and we can tell you different ways we can help you with AI. So let me go ahead and um, see what kind of questions we have. We have a comment from Kion, during the NASA soup industry day, one of the acquisition professionals stated, if your proposal is like a duplicate or it seems to be, or it's even the appearance of duplication or replica of another offer, both offers will be out of competition. That is correct. So take that with what you want with AI. So now I will tell you something. AI, again, will not create a duplicate of somebody else's proposal. You know who will create a duplicate for you? A consultant who is doing 20 different proposals, but is using the same person and is cutting and pasting and being lazy and charging everybody the same low fee. If you're being charged, a very low fee for a proposal, and low, I mean less than 20 grand, or less than 30 grand, really, or less than 40 grand for this proposal because it's pretty huge and it's writing a proposal. They're probably doing it for multiple people. They're probably recycling the same stuff over and over again. That's who's going to do it for you more likely than the AI. If you're using AI intelligently writing your own proposal, you're not going to have that much of a problem. So, um, the the question here is, what resources do you recommend to learn more about AI detection tools? The presentation Q&A today lead me to believe it would be a good idea to invest some due diligence in that direction since I have started to use AI in some proposals. So there are tools that will make your writing unrecognizable. They're tools that are actually made to rephrase things. But what I'm going to suggest to you is you read your own writing. Do not cut corners. You change up the sentences, you make it more natural. You take out the way to take out the paragraphs that are in summary or where AI summarizes something and puts a colon and then repeats the same information, where it's overly repetitive, where it's overly superfluous. So all of that stuff is the dead giveaway of AI. So there's lots of stylistic things that if you use AI a lot, you start noticing. And that's why you need to be an early and frequent user of AI. And you basically post-process everything. You do it by hand. Do not cut this step. I see that with a lot of people, especially younger people, who are over relying on AI and their stuff, like proposal writers. Their stuff sucks, right? Me as a professional writer, as a reviewer, I see it right away. I literally read the first paragraph, I know it's AI. So don't do that. Again, don't cut corners. AI is meant to make your proposal writing better and somewhat faster, but does not replace your careful curation of everything. But there's automated tools like Undetectable and things like that that you can look at. Also, um, so um, is a requirement to cite AI usage in the proposals you submit. Not that I've seen as in general. The government may prohibit using AI. Again, they're just like spell checkers used to be considered cheating, like calculators used to be considered cheating. Now you see calculators at school. You see spell checkers being required to be used at school, like Grammarly, and grammar checkers. So it's something that people get used to. And by entering so much proprietary information, we're also sharing our information with other AI users as we share information when using AI. Not quite. Again, if you're using a free version, so don't use a free version. So let me show you something in my Perplexity. I'm using a pro version. That means I'm paying money. And I am choosing a model. Here I'm configuring it the way that I want to. As you can see, I can switch to O1, which is the OpenAI model. There's only 10 daily usages. There's a limit on that. I'm using Anthropic. I am using a different image generation software, and I am also able to configure not to use my materials for training here. So basically, all enterprise customers are automatically excluded from AI data retention. No model providers use Perplexity enterprise data for training models. So now, can there be a data breach? Of course, with anything online, it could be a data breach. It could be a data breach with your SharePoint, with your Teams. It doesn't mean that you stop using them, right? So anything that's cloud-based has a risk, but it's something that, um, you know, we just have to do it in this world. So, uh, Richard, you can set an appointment with me if you want to. Also, this is the most comprehensive BD capture discussion on the use of AI I've seen. We'll definitely be in touch. Thank you, Jim, very much. David says, are there any rules, restrictions, or directives for use of AI as it relates to CMMC or zero trust? So there's a whole set of government rules on AI uses and the whole division that is in charge of looking at AI and setting up rules. The government is using AI broadly within the enterprise. It's very interested in that. There's lots of guidance that is coming out. So monitor that. And yes, there's guidance around all of these items. So um, Revisiting an earlier question, it would be helpful to get information on where to find the references and resources that define the strengths and weaknesses of specific AI large language models. The answer shared previously this morning included only general information, did not direct attendees to websites or companies that can provide those details. While I have been using free DuckDuckGo AI platforms mentioned in a previous question, I have not yet been able to discern the differences between the models. So large language models. Okay, so I think that you're conflating a couple of different things, right? So I think you're asking me about different tools for proposal writing, right? So you have Rohirrim, you have procurement sciences, you have, oh, what's the name of it? Um, there's a zillion of them, right? So they all kind of there's another one that I'm trying to remember. That basically does not give you the prompting ability. It actually just puts you throughout the whole life cycle without you prompting and just does the prompting for you. I don't like that very much. So essentially, so there are tools like that that are specialty, but you can also look at what I find that a lot of times. You're gonna have ChatGPT that is evolving at a lightning speed. Like right now, today, I downloaded ChatGPT desktop with which I can interact by just speaking. And as you know, you speak about 150 words per minute. I don't know if anyone here on this call can type that fast. I bet you some of you faster typists are about 80 words per minute or 90 words per minute. So there's some exceptional people who do about 100, 110, who are typing all the time, but your sort of average user is 40 to 50 words per minute. So so if you can actually speak to the AI at 150 words per minute, well, you can do all your prompting verbally. And it's a lot faster, and you can just speak to your computer and get stuff done, which is really amazing how fast stuff is evolving. There's no other tool that is proposal related that gives you that kind of speed. I'm just sticking with kind of mainstream tools right now, although we do have subscriptions to professional proposal tools as well. And so, um, I hope I answered your question there. But again, all these tools are based on mainstream large language models. I like Claude, if you ask me for my favorites, and I like the GPT-01. I am looking forward to GPT-03, and probably going to get another subscription to the Pro version of that. So Perplexity, I can use different models with it as well. I have a lot of toggling ability. So let me see here. Our I have a question from Asif. Okay, so I think that you put a link here. Um, can you please put your Calendly in a chat? So let me look. Let me put that in the chat. Oh, where is the chat? Um, so somebody said that thank you. It was been quite informative for me to the point of a bit intimidating. Yeah, I tried to put a lot of information into a little bit of time. So that's something that is a little tough to kind of wrap your arms around, but you'll get the copy of the slides and just have time to digest and time to experiment. I mean, it takes a little bit of getting used to. That's why I tell people, look, start playing with AI, and it's really going to be easier as you start using it and as you start getting used to it. So, um, Now, there was a comment from Asif about the AI agents. So where we're moving just in general is towards artificial general intelligence, AGI, and agents is a step in that direction where an agent is an kind of autonomous AI that you can give distinct tasks to, and an agent actually will go and perform that task for you. And people are building AI agents. GPTs are kind of a step in that direction as well. So GPTs, the way that you have GPTs work in the chat. So let me see if I can show you how they work in the chat. But GPTs are essentially, let's see, they're little agents that are telling you how to do things. Um, so um, so this is a GPT that is a proposal scheduling guide. And here I could actually go ahead and attach an RFP to it and tell it to develop a proposal schedule for me. And I could say today is January 14, 2025, and it is Tuesday. My proposal is due on February 6th, 2025. Could you please develop schedule for me? So now what it's going to do is going to search its knowledge base that I've created for it. So now it's telling me I have approximately 3 weeks. And it's building me a proposal schedule. So now it's screwed up the date, so I'm going to have to correct it. So I already told it it was going to be a Tuesday and it ignored it. So thank you. But it is Tuesday today, January 14th. Please correct in your schedule. Um, so so now it's going to do it correctly. And it's going to develop a nice little detailed schedule for me. So now it hallucinated it was due at 1400. I didn't tell it to, so you have to really watch out for stuff like that. So I normally would attach an RFP. It will read an RFP and it was going to give me a detailed schedule. But I could also have this agent, a little GPT that I built, email me that schedule in a PowerPoint format, right? So I could use Zapier, for example, to integrate it with other programs, and I could go ahead and have that after I approve that schedule, have that agent go ahead and schedule and send me all kinds of iCal notices for my calendar. And I click on them and they get stamped into my calendar in my um, Outlook. So all kinds of different actions here to do this. So hope this helps to explain how that works. So Dexter said for organizations with important or secret data, using an outside AI provider, even if they promise privacy can be risky. On-prem AI keeps everything in your control, protecting sensitive information while allowing you to analyze data without ever sending it outside your organization infrastructure. That is correct. When you're working within the classified environments, you have no choice but to have on-prem AI. It's very expensive at the moment, and it's not as good as the big public models. I will tell you something. Bloomberg spent $10 million building their own finance centric AI, and it was outperformed by ChatGPT, just general AI. So there's examples like that all over the place. So there are companies who will build a proposal AI that is on-prem for you. And again, you get what you get, but it is, of course, better than having no AI to help you. So um, now let me see here.
Olessia,
Uh-huh.
excuse me.
Yep.
Yeah, I think there was one question. Not sure if you got to it from David. Are there any rules, restrictions, or directives for use of AI as it relates to CMMC or zero trust?
Yeah, I think that I kind of answered that. So there is an agency within DoD now that is regulating um the it is regulating the use of AI in the government. So that's where I would look. So for those regulations, I don't know those regulations off the top of my head.
Okay, awesome. I think you may have gotten to any other questions for Olessia? If so, if you can put them up in the Q&A. We have a couple minutes. We're just about done. Um, Great presentation, by the way, Olessia. Awesome information. I see lots of, great comments in the chat. I think everyone appreciated your examples, real life examples, Nessa Soup and the others. I know I did. Sometimes
Yeah.
these things, but when you actually go through an example and go through the process, that's awesome. Um, so I think it was really, really valuable
Thank you.
information from everyone. Um, I don't see, let me see, if any other questions for Olessia before we wrap up? Well, I don't see other questions, but again, Olessia, thank you for taking the time. This is really, really great information for everyone. Um, and if anyone has any questions that weren't answered, you can reach out. I think you've gave your contact information, right, Alessia? So,
Yeah.
they can contact you directly. And so, reminder to everyone, the slides and a video recording from this session will be provided to you at the end of the four sessions. So, which our last one is coming up Thursday. Um, so again, Alyssa, I want to thank you for taking the time. I
My
want to thank
pleasure.
everyone for joining us today. We really appreciate all the insightful questions. And before we wrap up, I just want to remind everyone there's going to be a brief anonymous survey that's going to appear on your screen, and it would mean a lot to us and to our SBA partners if you could just take a moment to fill that out. I know several of you who participated in the earlier sessions gave us some really, really great feedback. So we really value that, and we always strive to enhance our programs to serve you better. Thanks again to everyone for joining us today, and please make sure to join us for the final session of this series, which is coming up on this Thursday, January 16th at 11 a.m. We're going to have DoD's Elizabeth Chirico and Ryan Connell are going to present on AI innovation, acquisition, and emerging trends and how to work with the government. So we're going to try to take a forward look, seeing how AI is going to impact this procurement and moving forward. So from DoD, so that should be very interesting. So again, thanks everyone. Thanks again, Alessia. Great to see you.
Good.
Um,
You too.
and everyone have a great rest of your week, and we will see you soon. Take care.
All right, awesome. Thank you very much, guys.
Thanks, Alessia.